and
Hi, this is Ingrid from Pure Vida Fitness, and here with mindset video number 2. This time I want to talk about the communication process. And the first video we talked about fixed and growth mindset, and I hope you had a chance to kind of discover for yourself what kind of mindset you have in whatever given situation. And so this time I would like to talk about the communication process. And the process begins with an external stimulus and ends with a certain behavior. So now I'll explain everything that happens in between. But for example, if you think about something that you really like, so think about a vacation or about your kids or about your favorite sport or anything, and you're probably already picturing it. So the questions that you can ask yourself is, do you see yourself in that picture, or are you looking through your own eyes? Is it in color or is it in black and white? What do you hear? Do you hear any sounds, or is it a noise? Is it a pleasant sound? What kind of feelings do you have with your picture? And another example is think about the Olympics. And what is the first thing that you start thinking about when you hear the word Olympics? Is it the Winter Olympics that we just saw on TV? Or is it the games from maybe 4 years ago? Is it a certain athlete that you are following and that you really want to see just only that sport? And the external stimulus here is the Olympics. And that is the stimulus, the Olympics, is processed by your senses and your filters. And depending on your experiences, your interest, your upbringing, etc. So your reaction, like your behavior to the word Olympics, will be different than, for example, mine. So if we look at the communication process here, the external stimulus enters through our senses into our neural system. Okay, and most of this process up here is unconscious, and which is a very good thing, because every second we get 4.5 million units of information presented to us. So if all this information was processed consciously, we would get slightly overwhelmed. So all the information is processed by your filters, and your filters distort, generalize and delete information, and it goes through filters like time, space, matter and energy, language, memories, decisions, attitudes, and values and beliefs. And in these filters we find, so here we find all kinds of information. So when and where were you born? How were you raised? How was your childhood? Were you in church? What did you learn from your friends? What did you learn in school? What experiences did you have in school? Were they negative? Were they positive? What values and beliefs did you learn along the way? Everything is stored right up here. So all that information that comes in will be filtered in here, and you will form your internal representation. And then with that internal representation, you'll have a certain state. It's like a negative thought or positive thoughts, okay? And that also reflects in your physiology. So you can tell if somebody has negative thoughts, you can usually see that in like body language. So out of your internal representation comes your behavior. So here's the thought process, and here it reflects in your behavior. So, so your filters and the contents in your filters is truly different for every human being. They process the stimuli, and then this results in your thought pattern and your behavior. So from this model, we can say that each person has a unique perception of the world. And if you are not satisfied with the way you perceive the world, then change your filters. And the true reality consists of much more information than we consciously perceive. And our internal representation cannot possibly contain the reality, or as we say, the map is not the territory. Okay, so this was Ingrid with Pure Vida about the communication model. If you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to ask me, and I'll see you in the next video.